Do I sell it? Do I keep it? All the questions for Arc Raiders I'm getting these days is about the loot. Now, what do you do with the loot? What do you keep in your stash? My name is Shy Wager. I finished all the quests in Arc Raiders. I finished the expeditions as well. And I've also topped in trials so far week to week. I'm going to show you what to keep in your first run inside Arc Raiders, whether you're just starting off or you're halfway through and you haven't made it to expeditions yet in your quest line. These specific loot items will get you the best value for being kept in your stash without having to jump in and farm up any extra loot and be annoyed at playing the game not your way. So keep this stuff as you amass it. Don't hard focus on it, and maybe you have an even better time. Disclaimer, I'm not going to go through every single quest item like dog collars for Scrappy. You're going to be playing this game and you're going to be coming across a lot of loot. In my opinion, all the loot in this game is important. Canisters later on help with pink augments and pink guns to be able to create. Every single piece of loot in the game is valuable at some point, but I'm going to pinpoint the very specific loot you need to get through quests so you can trade in garbage for shields and guns and get past these quests quickly and not regret selling something early. So again, whether this is your first game or you've been playing for 3 days and you're stuck on the quests and you're so confused about the loot, let me tap you in. First off, the most important loot not to sell in the game when you get it, Arc loot. Anything you get from Arcs, anything you get from Arc POIs, is some of the hardest to farm later. It's usually the noisiest to farm as well because people will hear where you are and it's hard to extract with. Let me get started with all the drivers inside the game. The Hornet driver, Snitch driver, Wasp driver. You've seen the early quests from them, but they come back in terms of getting level 2 benches, and they come back again sometimes in later quests or expeditions, maybe even in the future. But let's lock in with everything you need so far. I'm going to go through specifics now, and this will be linked in the description below. For Hornet drivers, you need 7 of those. Keep 7 in your inventory in general. They'll start getting taken away from some of the earlier quests, and you might need to keep 5 for a workbench upgrade. Snitch driver, you need 8 of them in your entire inventory in total, in your stash. Wasp drivers, you need 10. You're going to need more, I believe, to upgrade the gunsmith workbench later on, but these are all tied to workbenches so far. Rocketeer drivers, you're going to need 4 of those in total for quests and workbenches throughout the game. Now, Leaper Pulse units will come and circle back to this in a little bit, but you need in total for quests and expeditions 8 of them. I think Leaper and just looting Leapers in general is probably the most important thing you can do, and they are one of the most abundant and easier to farm units on the map. They have a weakness to where if you just have blaze grenades or fireball burners, it takes 2 or 3 of them. It's pretty quiet too, just to take them out. But I have a video on that coming out, just saying if you find Leaper Pulse units, stay on them for a little bit. You get them from looting Leapers. Bastion cells, gotten from beating bastions. You need 6 of those in total in your career of one expedition. Sentinel firing cores. Now, these are much harder to get, I think, than compared to everything else on this list, just because of their spawn rate on the map. Sometimes they spawn, sometimes they don't. What are these? Where do they come from? They're from these sentinel turrets. I'm not talking about the general turrets you see in every room, but those sniper rifle firing turrets that just target you from long range. A few of them spawn on dams, some spawn on spaceport. I think there's one also in buried, but sentinel firing cores, you'll need 4 of them over time. Surveyor vaults, you can take these out easily with Wolfpack grenades, but you need 6 of these overall. What are surveyors? They're these little ball things that aren't really hostile. They're just very annoying to track down and take out. You will need to take a lot of these out. Sometimes their vaults are available in other loot. I've gotten all of mine from PvPing. Pop triggers and tick pods. These are, we're kind of coming into the, a little bit of the lesser things overall, but you need 5 pop triggers, 8 tick pods, 10 fireball burners as well, in my opinion. Why? This is for, I believe, a workbench upgrade, and then in general you'll need some for a quest earlier on as well if you're just starting off. If not, you just need 8, but to be safe, put 10 in. Once you do the major quest or the major workbench upgrade, you can sell the rest. Arc motion cores, you'll need 5 for a later workbench upgrade. Arc circuitry in general, there is no number for this one. Amass it. You're going to need to amass this. This is one of the best resources inside the entire game of Arc Raiders. Keep your arc circuitry. Bombardier cells as well, something I forgot about. You need 6 of those too. So in general, for all the big purple arc units, you're going to need 6 a piece, except for the Leaper. You'll need a little bit more. The last thing I want to go over in Arc are Arc alloys. This is going to sound tough to do over time, but as your stash develops, you'll have more room. Keep as much Arc alloy as you can, especially if you start getting towards the 200 stash range, the 240 stash range. you will need 80 arc alloys for your expedition in general. I think 5 for a quest and then 75 maybe for your expeditions. But at the end of the day, for expeditions, you'll need 80. I'll explain what expeditions are in a little bit, but I'm just saying keep as much arc alloy as you can, especially when you start getting closer and closer to level 20 in your journey. If you're starting to be around level 15, start to accumulate more arc alloys. Now, let's go to crafting materials in general. I'm going to list these off very quickly. Sometimes you just need a few of them, maybe one of them, and we'll come back around for the expeditious stuff. Water pump and a power rod. You just need one of those. Keep one of those in your inventory. Rusted tools and rusted gears. You can find rusted tools a little bit easier. Keep 3 in your inventory. Rusted gears are going to be a bit tougher. You're going to need 3 of those, but they're going to be a little bit tougher to find. The general rule for the crafting materials is usually you just need 3 of each when you're rolling in for a bunch of your quests and a bunch of your upgrades on workbenches as well. Mechanical components, amass these, have stacks of them. I would always have like 15 or 20 sitting around because you need them for both repairing guns, you need them for upgrading workbenches, you need them for a lot of things. So mechanical components, very powerful. Power cable, you just need 3 of them. This is everything I'm mentioning, by the way. Once you have these 3, once you upgrade, you can start selling these things over and over again. Once you use any of these, including the arc stuff, once you use the slotted amount I've told you, start selling these things overall. Electrical components and advanced electrical components, even for the mech components, the advanced ones as well, amass these. The electrical components specifically, you're going to need a lot once you start getting towards level 20, even level 30-ish, because that's another expedition loot. Every time I mention expedition loot in here and in the dock, they'll be double starred. They will ask you for a lot of these. I think for electrical components, it's around 30, but you're going to need electrical components in general to start repairing stuff, making weapons as well. It's a whole thing. Keep a lot in your inventory. Prio them when you're out in raid. They might not be the biggest thing. They might not be a purple weapon, but they help you upkeep your guns. Industrial battery, you need 3. Lab reagents, you need 3. A damaged heatsink, you need 2 of those. Fried motherboard, 3. Motors, much harder to find, by the way. You need 3 of those. Please don't sell your motors. Everything else I mentioned, bar maybe lab reagents, easier to find. Toasters, I think you could sell and get away with selling because they're very easy to get up in a raid just by 3 of them. Now, for the rest of these are more expeditious in a sense. These are the things you want to start keeping once you're done a bunch of your quests and once you're thinking about doing expeditions fast, because they can gate you if you don't have enough of them. So wires, you're going to need 30 of them in total. Batteries, just amass them. I believe you need 30 as well, but you also need batteries to make shields, to repair shields, and do a lot. So batteries, always keep these and prio these when you're going out for loot. I know they're just a green mat, but it's nice to have batteries. Steel springs, get 15 of them. Also keep them because I believe you'll need them to, again, craft weapons and especially craft electrical components as well. So you can actually use steel springs to make even better loot. It's one of the best loot in the game. You need 15 for the expedition, but I would keep amassing steel springs. Cooling fans, you'll need 5. So once you start finding these are very important as well. They can gate you later in the game. You'll need 20 sensors, a little bit easier to find in some of these mechanical and technological places. 5 humidifiers, and then 3 magnetic accelerators. Now the magnetic accelerators might be the hardest to find, but I usually end up getting them or some exotic parts or some complex gun parts when I'm looting some high prio places. So if you have keys for Dam Control Tower, if you have security breach, these should be easier to find, but keep your magnetic accelerators, keep your purples, keep your humidifiers as well. When it comes to some of this expedition loot, it's better to hoard that and then go and hunt for other loot as you see it coming. For grenades, if you're looking at grenades in general, this won't take up too much of what you have. I would keep snap blasts and I would keep wolf packs over showstoppers. Wolf packs can instantaneously get you a lot of the other I was just talking about, and snap blasts can also help you in killing leapers, help you in killing bombardiers. When it says it does 60 damage and you put it in an AoE, it'll do 60 damage to different legs, resulting in 180 damage in total on bombardiers or bastions, and it'll do a lot of damage to leapers as well. They just take a while to explode, so watch your distance to some of these arcs as you play in. But for grenades, I'd recommend snap blasts like crazy if you can find them, and then wolf packs. For traps as well, I'd always recommend, if you're going in with key rooms, to try to buy or keep at least some form of trap to let you know people are coming. You'll get them as rewards, but even if you're running a free kit, keep one trap in your inventory or your stash at all times. For keys, the 2 keys I recommend in keeping are the Patrol Car Blue Gate key, because it can help you speed run that quest, and the Control Tower A6 Spaceport key, much rarer, and this is the quest that was actually the hardest for me to do in the game. This is a hotly contested area inside Spaceport, and the biggest issue with this key is that if you use it, you go up and there's someone already up there, or you end up getting interrupted and you die. It's very hard to find this key again, and you have to rely on squad fills or someone else to open up Control Tower A6. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but keep this key in your stash. Make sure you go up when it's absolutely safe, and hoard these keys if you do find them, because if you do mess up, you have multiple chances to do this quest. Now, for the medical type of loot, I would recommend keeping rusted shut metal kits, at least 3 of them, 2 cracked bioscanners if you find them early. You need to hoard up 10 antiseptics for both quests and I believe maybe the expedition or general stuff that happens later on in the game. Everything else you don't really need, but if you want to know, 1 syringe, 1 durable cloth, and 1 great mullion. Keep them in. You'll be asked for them at some point in your quests. You'll thank yourself that you don't need to waste an entire run and focus on losing thousands of dollars where you'd have to have these in inventory instead. Just keep them inside your stash if you want. Just 1 of each, sell the rest. For nature, this is a little bit different, but this is what I would recommend. If as soon as you get 1 fertilizer, sit on it in your inventory for a while until a quest asks you to deliver it, and you can easily deliver it. That quest might not even let you deliver that specific fertilizer, so it might be best for you to just do the quest. Don't even worry about the fertilizer, just in case though. The rest of it though, lemons, apricots, prickly pears, mushrooms, keep all of these. The mushrooms are going to be needed for a quest. The lemons, apricots, and prickly pears also needed for a quest retaining to Scrappy in training him up. But in general, lemons, apricots, and prickly pears can be used to make you really good fruit mixes inside the game if you have a survivor perk that lets you craft additional items when you're on expedition or you're on actual raids yourself. So these things will raise, I believe, your max HP and stamina, or at least restore it. They're very good at doing 2 things at the same time. Keep on these. I'm not sure how effective they are in the game, but try to sit on at least 3 of them at all times. In general, hoard your lemons, hoard your apricots, hoard everything until these quests for Scrappy come up and you're able to lock them down. You'll also need 8 olives in general just for Scrappy. After that, you can just start selling your olives, but the others, hoard them. I guarantee you won't come across a lot of fruits. They'll be really good. For valuables, you're going to need 3 very comfortable pillows. Make sure you have those. 5 light bulbs, which I was selling light bulbs like crazy. You're going to need to hold on to your light bulbs, so just 5 of them, sell more afterwards. And 1 cat bed, sell the rest. That cat bed also used for Scrappy. The comfortable pillows are also for Scrappy. The light bulbs are for expeditions. So as soon as you have 5, you're chilling, you're vibing. If you want to get them later, you can. I stumbled on a lot of them early, and keeping them for the expeditions is pretty chill. Now, getting into loot that you're probably like, after you have all this and you've ran through a lot of it as well, this is like the epilogue / bonus content of loot I would want you to keep inside your stash and you're going to be thinking about and using for expeditions. To start off your expeditions, you're already probably going to have this, but you will need 150 metal and 200 rubber. So when it comes to those mats, you're going to be immediately wiped out of them as you start off expeditions. You're also going to need 35 durable cloth. That might be worth investing into as you're playing the game and then selling in the excess, but having that much durable cloth just in your inventory might be annoying. Just saying, you're going to need 35 for these expeditions. The most interesting thing about the expeditions afterwards, when it comes to keeping loot, the last stage of the expedition, after you've given in your humidifiers, your sensors, all the stuff I've listed before in terms of even the arc stuff, you're going to need to give Leaper Pulse units as well. They will ask you for $250,000 of your combat weapons or attachments, 100,000 coins worth of your survival stuff, which is your backpacks, your meds, your shields, $180,000 worth of your valuables, and then $300,000 worth of your materials, which are just general crafting mats like I was talking about, the springs, the tools, the gears. My recommendations for this is go through a wipe. Like, go through your own self wipe for this expedition. Donate as much as you can. If you want to go for purples, go for it, but just donate everything you have. It's very easy to get it back, especially at this point in your career in expeditions, when you've played the game this much. You're going to be probably level 30 to 40 at this point, finishing your expeditions. Everything's going to be good. You might want to give away some of your purples as well. So if you have extra magnetic accelerators, if you have exotic gun parts, complex gun parts, whatever it is, or Exodus parts is what it is, you can give that away. If you go and listen to my guide that I'll link here, is going to be uploaded soon, your perk guide, right, your skill tree guide. If you get security breach, it's very easy to get all this stuff back and even more. The reason you want to get rid of a lot of your bad stuff as well in your inventory first, you might want to work down up for all these materials, provisions, combats, and survival stuff. In expeditions, what they don't tell you is once you're done your expedition, once you have gotten all this loot I'm talking about and given it to the game as like basically mini quests after you're done the main quest storyline, you get bonus skill points once everyone's able to confirm their expedition in December based on how much your inventory / stash is worth. That means you want to get rid of all the small stuff. You can do it inside this final expedition piece and then start to hoard purples. Everything purple, weapons, attachments, gun parts, whatever you can. Up your inventory up with purples as much as possible. You're gonna start to have to go for free loadout like security breach runs or PvP runs where you can grab more purple stuff. For anyone that's watching this game and they're about to finish their expedition, this is also just this part for you. You will start to have to just up your stash money size as much as possible. I'm not talking about the coins on the top right of your screen. I'm talking about what's left over in your stash. You will send that to be wiped. It needs to be a high value to get the 5 max skill points and start the new season with 5 skill points. So I'd recommend keeping wolf packs you can give away to get drivers. The drivers will be worth more than the wolf packs, right? So just keep as many purples as you can. Keep making your whole inventory slowly more purple. Take away stuff from the bottom. Do free loadouts. Keep the purples. Sell everything else. Have a fun time. That's been it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. It's not going to be as organized in terms of what you need for where, but I will be posting the entire list of what you need down below. You can start backspacing or doing what you need to do in organizing that list on an Excel sheet or wherever it is. But I'll have a notepads list worth of all these items in the description. Please like the video if this helped you out. I know it's a little bit static or a little bit dynamic and hard to follow, but I'm just letting you know what you need for everything. And then please subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more Arc Raiders content coming in soon. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon.